All right, we're on part 5 of the series looking at the lab to real life or old school ABA versus new school or whatever you want to call it. And in this video, I think is the most important. It's looking at what are we focusing on? What are we optimizing for? What's the whole point of what we're doing? The real issue at hand, as I've said before, is not old school versus new school ABA. It's what are we focusing on? So there are people who've been in this field since, the 1960s who have always focused on what I'm about to talk about. And there are people who are in this field right now in 2025 who have never focused on what I'm about to talk about. Again, the distinction comes down to what are we focusing on? And that ultimately informs what our procedures look like and how we're engaging within our sessions and providing our interventions. Are we focusing on producing and responding under tightly controlled adult conditions, or are we focusing on helping someone build skills that actually matter in their real life? Because obviously those are not the same thing. You can get really clean data in a tightly controlled environment with tons of trials and still not be helping someone navigate their environment, communicate safely, regulate, and most importantly, feel safe in the world around them. Applied behavior analysis isn't meant to be asking, can I produce this behavior right now? It's meant to be asking, can I help this person live their life in a way that works for them and how they want to live it? When the focus is on normalization, compliance, or performance for the sake of data, I have to get this trial in, let me ask this question, even though the context isn't appropriate and it's not meaningful to the client right now, we're risking harm regardless of the model or intervention being used. Whether we want to call it old school, new school, naturalistic, developmental, whatever name we're using. If that's the focus, we're risking harm. When the focus shifts to safety, autonomy, regulation, safe communication, active engagement, everything changes. Especially when the focus is on collaboration and really understanding and connecting with the person in front of you. How we teach changes, what we measure changes, how we define success changes. It all changes. That's why this conversation isn't just about procedures or labels. It needs to be about our goals, our values, and how we're applying the science. So this isn't about abandoning the applied form of our science, and it's honestly not about defending it either. It's about being honest about what we're centering and whether it actually benefits the person in front of us. If we want the applied form of our science to do better, to be more modern, or to get back to its roots, depending on how you look at it, we have to change what we focus on and know why we're focusing on what we're focusing on and how it benefits the people receiving our services. This concludes this part of the series, but don't you worry, there are 2 more series that I want to cover. The next one is focusing on questioning things we've been taught, and the last series will focus a bit more on naturalistic developmental behavioral interventions and what, sorry to make you wait so long, but basically what's the replacement? If we're not doing what you've been taught to do, or what some people have been taught to do, then what are we doing?